manufacturer presence and third-party selling, brand marketing and channel support. So you're actually the brand and perhaps the actual manufacturer as well. From the consumer perspective, it mostly doesn't matter who's doing the actual build, with the possible exception of drop shippers with affiliate partners. The question is, are you going to be selling direct? You've probably at least thought about it if you're not doing it already, but for whatever reason, you've decided no, or at least not for now. One of the benefits of being online is omnichannel consistency. Unless you yourself are present in digital across device types and information types, you don't have the beginnings of control over your messaging. And 94% of consumers do research online before visiting a store. Even though 90% plus of sales are still offline, research often begins online. You need to have an O2O, that is an online to offline funnel. What are consumers actually doing at retail? Consumers at retail are seeking information. Sometimes this is referred to as robo. Research online and buy offline. 64% of purchases are researched online. One of the most obvious use cases is that they're comparing prices. 3/4, that is 76% of consumers, regularly price check against competitors. That's up from 66% in 2015. What else are consumers doing at retail? Well, they're looking for coupons, rebates, and offers. They're also checking customer reviews. 82% of consumers are influenced to complete their purchase thanks to some form of product review. So how is it that you can provide channel support? You have to get deep into digital to support your channels. You should have online brand and product level assets and metadata for your business partners. This might include imagery, videos, product specifications, and so on. You might have data storage for consumer loyalty and personalization history. Retailers may also be implementing so-called endless aisle inventory, such that consumers can buy things that aren't on their physical shelves. They may need help for dropshipping support as well. Here's a major thing you can do to provide channel support. 2 words, dealer, locator. Here's 2 more words, online and offline locators. Besides getting users to your physical product in stores, you might learn where you have too small of a footprint in a local market. By analyzing your data in terms of where consumers are typing in zip codes to look for your product, you might be able to find that you've got a light presence in a market that has a high demand. You could also possibly do ad deals with retailers within your dealer locator. What kind of customer support can you provide? Well, there's pre-purchase info. With so many people seeking information online, pre-purchased, are you providing enough easily accessible information for both customers and for your channel partners? And then there's, of course, post-purchase support. Especially if you're selling through channels, how can you maintain loyalty, retention, and better lifetime value without a direct channel to your customers? The big question as to whether or not to sell direct is a strategic one. Let's revisit this strategically critical question. There's a variety of strategic issues when you're considering selling direct. Considering selling direct means addressing any channel conflicts, building out e-commerce and logistics capabilities, and more. Leaving all the nuts and bolts aside, does selling direct fit with your brand's perception and consumer needs? Who's selling directly? Well, a lot of people are selling directly via their own websites, or they're linking to other online retailers. Oftentimes, there's sophisticated direct links in inventory management. Let's look at what Philips Norelco is doing. They have direct sales, they have links to other online retailers, they've got sophisticated direct links in inventory, and they have a great pay-per-click headline. Let's take a look at their pay-per-click headline. And by the way, when I say pay-per-click, this is an advertisement that's gone into one of the search engines. It says, explore Philips Norelco's full line to fill your every need. Now think about that for a moment. It's their full line, probably includes accessories as well. It's likely that very few physical retailers are going to stock all of their products and accessories, but they can offer their full line online, and they express it here in this ad. It's a fairly powerful message. When we look at New Balance, for example, they're providing direct sales, a dealer locator, and there seems to be an emphasis on direct and offline sales, not just other online channels. And this makes sense for something like a shoe product, which some customers may feel compelled to actually try on before they buy it. Who's not going direct? There are some companies such as Steel and DeWalt that offer high quality products that are simply not offered directly online yet. And then we have some other products such as Chanel that are apparently beginning to test in this area. When we think about Steel, this is a top brand, and they get away with this, at least for now. And they do this thanks to years of quality and a top-notch reputation. They maintain the rare ability to succeed selling only via their offline dealer network. This is rare, and it might not be sustainable. Their sales thesis seems to be that they need to go through approved dealers that can actually also service their products. And if we look at DeWalt, they're a popular power tool manufacturer with an extensive dealer network. Their products are available both at retail and physical spaces as well as online vendors, but they don't appear to sell direct as yet. So why would people not choose to sell directly? Well, there's a number of different reasons to stay offline, and these can include emotional aspects of exclusivity, such as luxury brands. There could be a desire to maintain only the highest controlled quality at a retail service level, such as equipment manufacturers, for example, steel. There could be very complex products that require skilled installation and support. It is, however, likely that over time, almost everybody's going to be dragged online, kicking and screaming if necessary, because their customers will simply demand it. There's also ways to meet digital halfway. Some brands, especially luxury goods, have a singular digital presence of their own where they will sell online. They may also have a select few other digital stores of quality where they will distribute product. However, they will not maintain the same distribution channel as they might for offline store chains, and they certainly work hard to stay off mass market sites. They see this as a brand perception issue. Let's go deeper into channel value. As a brand, what is it that you provide to your retail channel? Does your name recognition and value help drive store traffic? Are you providing your retail partners with high-margin products? Does the retailer actually compete with you by selling a store brand or OEM manufactured product? OEM, by the way, is original equipment manufacturer. And what is it that you need from your retail channels? Are they trained well enough in your product? Do they care enough to get trained? Can they service your product well enough? Do they even care to do so? Are you an important brand to them? Or are you just another offer to make their shelves look selective? Maybe you could be just a low price option or a high price option where they're actually pushing other products. Now let's take a quick look at specialty versus FMCG. FMCG is fast-moving consumer goods. Specialty goods with strong brands, whether they're bicycles or electronics or whatever, may compete on differentiation as best they can. But there's other types of goods, so-called fast-moving consumer goods, which include soap, shampoo, razors, and so on, which often depend more on intangible aspects of brand loyalty. And yes, even FMCG can be forced to do more direct online to compete with what's coming. By the way, I should mention that FMCG is sometimes also referred to as CPG or consumer packaged goods. How about some examples of radical change in the fast-moving consumer goods marketplace? The razor and blades industry is a great one. For decades, Procter & Gamble's Gillette and Schick Wilkinson's Sword enjoyed a business model that became a cliche known as the razors and blades model. Their multi-billion-dollar market was a cash cow. Printer ink, glucose strips, and other products have similar models. But in 2012, the Dollar Shave Club showed up, and Harry's in 2013, and there's others. Collectively, they've added millions of customers in a few short years. Is Gillette higher quality? Maybe. Is it enough of a higher quality to justify what is still significantly higher price points, both for their online shaving plans and their retail prices? Maybe not. Gillette's response is a direct club of their own. As for Dollar Shave Club, Unilever bought them for $1 billion in cash in 2016. The original Dollar Shave Club investments were a bit over $160 million. Not bad. So Gillette and Schick have no choice. Do you? Gillette and Schick really had no choice but to figure out how to respond strategically, and they're arguably still back on their heels. Perhaps the Shave Club entrants just thought they'd disrupt the industry. They might not have actually said, let's kick their teeth in, but that's pretty much what they've been doing. To a lot of consumer packaged goods, the whole digital thing is a line item on a brand manager spreadsheet. Maybe it's time to start rethinking that at a more strategic level. Let's revisit some of the reasons you might want to sell direct. You can get closer to your customers. You also deserve share of voice in the market. Do you even know who's providing the channel value? Sometimes a retailer may provide the most value and help build your brand. Other times it may be your brand that's actually drawing people to retail. You can also have greater brand recognition and control with your own presence. By selling directly online, you may also be able to leverage and put some price pressure with your retailers and in your channel. You have to be very careful with this, and this probably isn't a good idea in most cases. If you're selling direct, you should, theoretically, be able to maintain higher profit margins, though possibly not. If you've got complicated logistics or specialty issues in your channel, you may find that your profit margins are not as great as you thought they were when selling direct online. What are some other reasons for selling direct? Well, your customers may actually want you to. Customers want high quality, and the assumption is if they're buying directly from you, you're going to provide the expected amount of quality. Also, some consumers simply don't trust other channels. Those other channels may be providing knockoffs. There are consumers that simply want to evaluate your entire full line. You, of all outlets, should have all the sizes and colors that are possible versus the other outlets, especially offline retailers who may only carry the most common combinations. There may be exceptions to this if you have large retailer agreements where you are selling custom goods only available through that channel. Ideally, you're also going to offer all the accessories and spare parts, even for discontinued items if possible. There are a lot of items that are sold at retail for which that retailer might not stock accessories, replacement parts, or consumables such as something like filters, and the consumer might need to get them someplace else. Where's the consumer going to find those items? Sometimes it can be a challenge to do so. Ideally, you can sell those products directly. Some additional reasons to sell direct. We've already touched on some of these. You can offer your full catalog. This can include the consumables, such as razor blades or bags or whatever it is, replacement parts, cross-sell accessories that might not be available at retail, even at your online channel partners. Yet another reason to sell online directly is that big box stores and online are killing some of your channels. Because of big box stores and Amazon are killing a lot of smaller, sometimes specialty retailers, this could leave you without even the possibility of a local presence in some markets. By selling direct, you also gain a great deal of business intelligence. Seeing how people shop on your own site can tell you a lot about consumer preferences, what images and information they seem to like, and how they might respond to differing offers. You might also be able to go international, or at least you might be able to test demand in some of those markets before you set up a physical presence. For all the benefits of selling direct, there are also some very good reasons why maybe you shouldn't sell direct. Retailers, and maybe your own sales team, may get unhappy with you. The degree of unhappiness they might experience could depend on your category. Are they just a little unhappy, where they're going to gripe a little bit? Or are they a lot unhappy? They could drop your brand completely from their shelves. They could drop promo spend on your brand. Or they could offer better placement for your competitors. You'll have to assess and manage any potential channel conflict when you decide to start selling directly. When setting up to sell direct, you're also going to need e-commerce solutions, logistics solutions, direct customer support, and so on. However, at this point, the ecosystem has a wide variety of support for such needs and activities. One really good reason to not sell direct is that your product might generally just be too complicated to sell directly. This could be technical gear, such as avionics for aircraft, production machinery, and similar. Even if you choose not to sell online, you'll probably be needing to let authorized resellers do so. At this point in time, very few businesses have zero online footprint, with just a few exception categories. For example, consumers may buy bread and milk via grocery delivery, but manufacturer direct sales via digital for these items seems just silly, at least for now. We'll see. If you're still offline only, your fundamental problem is that some consumers may want your brand, but don't even have a retailer nearby. Without some sort of online presence and awareness as to where they can get your product, they might have no options to buy your product, even if they very much want to. When you sell direct online, there are some channel influence challenges. Even though only 10% of retail sales are online, some form of digital touchpoint is often involved in the customer journey. Again, 94% of consumers do some form of research online before visiting a physical store. Whether you're going to sell direct or not, you'll need more than simple brochureware online to satisfy your customers. Let's take a closer look at the tool manufacturer DeWalt. On their website, they have all kinds of service information for their various tools. They've got a very complete dealer locator. They've got their company story, and they mention that they're made in the USA for the most part. Here's an example of an avionics manufacturer that's got a robust online website with lots of customer support and information about their products, but does not generally sell directly. This is a complex, high price point product. There is a support area and a dealer locator, but there aren't too many people that are going to install this themselves. There are some experimental aircraft manufacturers that will install these products themselves, and they'll go through an authorized reseller. But this is a fairly complex product, and the company has decided not to sell direct. They may have never even considered selling directly, but they do offer a great deal of support online, including information manuals, simulations, and so forth. Some final thoughts on manufacturer presence. If you don't already have at least a rudimentary online presence, you are likely behind the curve and falling further behind every day. Even if your industry is of a small specialty nature, chances are your stakeholders are increasingly operating online in various capacities. If you're not already facing direct competitive pressure, you likely will be. And even if not direct, there are likely substitutes to your offering that potential partners will find instead. As the bar keeps rising for table stakes digital elements of a business, both informational and operational, it's increasingly critical to build digital capabilities. Thanks a lot for attending this session. We'll see you in the next section.